My name is Rob Truskowski. I am a professor in the Department of Visual Arts here at the University of Regina. And in spring 2023, I will be running a very special course called ART290JP, the Art of Kyoto. This course will be a study tour to the cultural capital of Japan, Kyoto. Kyoto is a city of about 1.5 million people, a few hours away from Tokyo by bullet train, about an hour on the underground from Osaka, and an absolutely spectacular city with all of the architecture, the shrines and the temples and the cultural sites that survived relatively unscathed by the Second World War. It is the place where the traditional arts and crafts, as well as a contemporary art scene, thrives. The food, the weather, the walkability, the bikeability, the transit options, the craft markets, the sights, the sounds. It's a spectacular city. I lived in Kyoto for a while with my family. I worked at a couple of universities there, so I know Kyoto very, very well. My Japanese is passable, and I think I'm in a particularly interesting position to bring a group of students with me to Kyoto for about 2 weeks. The first question that many non-art students have is, what are we going to do on this course? And can I even go on this course if I'm not an art student? Well, the answer is you absolutely can come on this course. There are no prereqs for this course, and in fact, this course could count as an open elective in your program or a MAP elective in whatever program or degree you happen to be taking. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be good at art in order to take this course. You just have to be open to the possibilities of a really remarkable experience. We're going to visit temples, we're going to visit museums and galleries, we're going to eat in some fantastic places. We're going to do a lot of the touristy stuff because there is a lot of it to do in Kyoto, but hopefully also we are going to be exposed to a few hidden gems. I've got friends and contacts in Kyoto, and I'm hoping to tap into that so that we can see some special things that the average tourist might not be able to do. And I know I just said you don't have to be an artist to take this course, but you're still going to ask yourself, how do I do an assignment? What is that going to look like for this course? Well, what I can tell you is that I have a range of possibilities for students in any discipline to access the kind of cultural content of this course and be able to respond to it in a way that makes sense to them. My hope, of course, is that you understand that this is a spectacular city and you're on a spectacular trip with plenty of guided time and plenty of free time to do whatever you want to do, to eat and drink and shop and see sights entirely on your own. But ultimately, I want you to be able to take something from this opportunity, from this trip, that will help you reflect on who you are as a human being, who you are as a potential scientist or a future business person or a doctor or a dentist or whatever it is that you happen to be, or an artist, of course. I want you to be able to take this experience and use it to be able to reflect on those other aspects of your life. So rest assured, you don't have to be a virtuoso painter or a printmaker like me to love and succeed this course. You just have to come with an open mind and be ready for the possibilities. Now, the big question, probably the biggest question, how much is all of this going to cost? Well, I can tell you right away that travel is not cheap, and every year that goes by, things get more and more expensive. I could also say things like an experience like you're going to have going on a trip like this, seeing a place like Kyoto, is absolutely priceless. But the bottom line is you're going to have to come up with some money in order to do this. Right now, the kind of ballpark is about $3,000 for the trip portion itself. That will cover a flight as well as hotel with double occupancy in Kyoto. Four-person occupancy, as you might see here in North America, is not possible. Japan is small, everything is tight and compact. Kawaii, cute and tiny, but certainly not made for 4 people in a bedroom. So you're looking at about $3,000. These prices are to be determined as well because it's still October and we can't be booking things until a few more months at least from now, or at least even reserving them. So that's the ballpark for the price of the hotel and flight. You are also going to pay a 3-credit course fee for this course, according to the fee schedule from the University of Regina, but you are getting 3 credits out of this going towards your degree. There'll be other incidental things like ground transport from Osaka to Kyoto. We will fly into Osaka and we'll take a train to Kyoto or a bus. It's not very expensive. Things like that might be another $50 or something round trip. But then you're gonna have to come up with meals and spending money and money to visit attractions. Now, I can tell you that it's very inexpensive to eat frugally in Kyoto. You could easily spend under $10 per meal, lunch, dinner, and breakfast. Often, if you find yourself wanting something a little fancier, you can spend $20 at dinner time. But it's a very affordable place to travel and to eat, in my experience, having lived there. Attractions and museums are either free for students or $4, maybe $5. So very, very affordable. And there's plenty of shopping. And that's generally speaking where visitors to Japan, particularly those who are in love with the idea of going to Japan, are going to spend a lot of their money. So I would leave that sort of thing up to you, but you're probably going to need a few $100s in spending money at least going to Japan. Japan has a great system of bank machines where you can use your debit card or your credit card to take cash out. It's largely, at least pre-COVID, it was largely a cash-based society. You can order yen from the bank. Anyways, there's lots and lots of details that we can go over later on. But essentially, I can't see this trip without the course fee part attached costing you less than $3,500 or $4,000. So it's not inconsequential, but it is absolutely spectacular. And the only real worry that I have is that this trip will just whet your appetite to go back to Japan and spend more of your time and more of your money there. How does all that sound? Do you want to have an amazing experience? Do you want to add a couple more credits to your degree? Do you want to potentially develop a lifelong love for travel, Japan in particular, but the world in general? Send me an email, message me in Instagram, or pop down to the printmaking studio in the basement of the Riddell Center and say hello. More info to come. Stay tuned. Mata ne.